Good evening. 14 July and an update. It's all over the paper. Look at Danny. He's scolding you people for questioning him if he did the right thing. Now, he got up there and said a lot of things, but what he didn't say, and if you guys know, I used to support Danny. What he didn't say for years, before you say, oh, I just don't like him, we helped put him in office. Danny LIEDWELL lied to most of the South End. He's told us that he didn't support CU, and then after elected, he did. He said that if they couldn't prove Sandestin was in compliance, he'd bring it up, but he didn't. And when Barker brought it up, he got no support from Danny. Danny decided the lie was too hard to tell the truth. And just like Clay had said, the practice of not following policy and the law was rampant. That was the practice, is not following, but this isn't the first time for Glidewell. He acts like he's never had this. Plus, did y'all notice how they said they'd never seen it till just then, but then said they were mad and had days worth of answers and had been researching what was going on? Well, those two answers are mutually exclusive. If he has screenshots of it and people admit it's been emailed to them, it was emailed to Boots, and they said, I just got it. Well, they knew it was going on. Why didn't they ask for it? But this is not the first time that Danny LIEDWELL has had a problem turning in stuff to the clerk of courts. I've posted on social media, because there's no way to do it here, a jail report when Danny ran the jail. And back then he had a hard time with money. He had a hard time turning in receipts and verifications to the clerk of court about his cantina. He had a hard time handling the inmates' money. He lied about the cost of the jail going down every year when it clearly said that the statements he had made were false. You need to go read that 2010 report, because Danny has had a problem not following policy and statute. That report that says felonies happened under Danny's watch as a constitutional law enforcement officer, and he didn't turn them into the clerk of court or anybody. Does that bother y'all? Now, do you think a guy that wouldn't report a felon committing more felonies in the jail is going to make his staff and himself and the planning department and code enforcement, do you think he's going to follow the law? No. He's going to bring a purple hair to jump in the amen pew of a BCC meeting in the front row and scream and shake like she's offended. We don't give a damn what she thinks. She didn't run for office. You did. Just like David Buchanan using his wife and everything. Nobody cares what the spouse says. And if they're offended, they ought to be offended by how much you lied, Danny, because you sure lied to me. You said you want somebody to say it to you. Well, I'm saying it to you, and I would have said it there, Danny, but you didn't take any public comment. You lied well, Danny, but we know. And the election may be over, but we're going to write ethics on you, and we're going to try to have you removed. And I want everybody to know that Dan Curry has set up a signature so we can get a forensic audit in this county. We have a signature petition. It's on several of the social media websites, the Non-Caring Walton Visioning, the Nonpartisan Walton Envisioning. Dan Curry's got it on his side. I think the Horsepower Pavilion has it. Folks, we all need to sign these signatures and email them around to have a forensic audit. It's time. It's time to know if the tax collector, planning, the BCC, the sheriff, the clerk of court, and every code enforcement, the building department, everybody, is our local government being run right? Or are we having the wool pulled over our eyes as that we get a bunch of people that do as I say and not as I do? Let me ask you something. Did Danny learn this from Graham Fountain? Oh, I want a sandwich. Well, Danny, we want the truth. Don't you never shake our finger and say we don't have the guts to tell you. I've sent all y'all information on Matt Carpenter's multi-million-dollar lie, and you don't seem to care about it. You don't respond. Why not, Danny? Like I said, get on social media, Go read the jail report and don't take my word for it. Or is the sheriff and those people lying too? So if the clerk's lying and the BCC's lying and nobody's following policy, man, what are we to do as a people? Just keep giving them our tax money? Folks, this friends and family program is as bad here. Why is Scott Brannon our legislative liaison? I mean, really, folks, this is who Danny gets his advice from, these people. It's pathetic. It really is. Danny, don't you never talk to us about like that again. You don't have the guts to hear what we have to say to you, and that's why you did. And that's why you got Beanpole Barker to do that. Let me tell you, folks, at the end of every meeting, there's public comments except this one, because they didn't want your comments. Go sign the online petition, call somebody, find it, go to Horsepower Pavilion. They'll help you log in, see Dan Curry, go to Non-Karen or the Nonpartisan Visioning page and sign the petition. We all need the truth on the Alan Osborne Show. And to you people that have to attack me, I'm not running for office. Oh, I'm going to do a show on Buchanan and Chaz. Yeah, Buchanan, you gutless individual, you're as big a coward as Danny. Yeah, you got to have your wife and everybody else answer for you, David. It ain't going to work. And David, why did you live off the accomplishments of others and the dead? Shameful, David. David, you ain't never served a day, and I have, David. So all your people questioning my service, bust it on out. Let's go lay them down side by side. Let's talk about who spent the most years in combat zones. But I'll tell you who hasn't. David Buchanan. And I tell you who doesn't tell the truth? Danny Glidewell. He lied well the other day, and so did some of the other commissioners. Only Tony Anderson was humble. Yeah, Danny, we saw what was going on. And we hurt too, Danny, when you lie. Just like somebody was shaking in the front row, a lot of us have shook at night with your decisions. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, and an eye for an eye, bald man. That's the way it was on Alan Osborne Show. 14 July in the corrupt county of Walton. Chaz Galloway, you want the proof of corruption? Right here's some of it. Yep, you're a coward too, Chaz. You don't want the truth, and if it don't come easy, Chaz Galloway ain't for it. Donna Johns for commissioner, and all the county for forensic audit. And that's the way it was on the Alan Osborne Show. Y'all keep them straight out there. Does this guy look like he can keep himself straight? Somebody put another hot dog in his mouth. See y'all next time.